Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I'm just hanging out here on the hill. Had to turn around because the sun is coming this way. You got to pay attention to your lighting when you're doing videos like this. But anyways, I'm sitting here. I just had a sponsor meeting, and I know that I've done very few videos about the business side of the sport of professional fishing. You know, being a professional angler, not just tournament angler, but a professional angler. And that could mean, being an influencer on social media and never fishing a tournament. It could mean being a guide. It could be, like me, I do a little bit of everything. But I think it's really important to talk about the business side of the sport because I run into a lot of young anglers and I'm very passionate about it because, I want people that were in my position when I was struggling to make this a career. I want them to kind of not make the same mistakes that I made or I see other people make along the way. And so I think that it's really important to talk about sponsorship because I think having a healthy understanding of what sponsorship is or what your job is as a professional angler allows you to be more effective at providing value to sponsors. And I know that a lot of people don't like to talk about the sponsorship side all that much because they think it might, the more people know how to do the sponsorship game or play the game better, they may have less opportunities for themselves. But I actually think the opposite is true. I think that it's really important for people to have a healthy understanding of it because if people are overall bringing the heat, bringing the value to their sponsors and doing a good job for them, the less burned bridges we're going to have overall in this industry, and the more opportunities I think everybody will have. And the reason I say that is because, think about this scenario. You have a young angler doesn't really understand the business side of the sport, doesn't understand what value they bring, and doesn't understand how to reach, people to help sell more product. If they go out and they overpromise and underdeliver to a certain sponsor, if that's a endemic sponsor, one that's within the industry, they'll definitely burn a bridge, and it may affect other anglers down the line. That company may decide to shift their focus towards more influencers on social media as opposed to like tournament anglers that also have a social media following. Or if it's a non-endemic company, outside of the sport, they may never come back and spend their advertising dollars in this industry again. So I think it's just really important. But anyways, what I wanted to talk about today is first off, I want to kind of explain what the role of a professional fisherman really is as far as my perspective. And that's a good point because everything I'm about to say in this video is from my perspective. It's my opinion, and it's just from my experience over the years. So how you achieve or get sponsors and maintain those relationships really is on a case-by-case basis. Everybody's different. Every approach is different. So I'm not saying that this is the only way to do it. I'm definitely not the world's, authority on sponsorship, but these are things that have worked for me and they're important parts. So just want to throw that out there. So the very first thing that I have to open this up with, as far as the bulk of the content we're talking about here is, we have to have a basis of understanding of what our job is as a professional fisherman. So years ago, I recognized that there was more than just catching fish and putting them on a scale and collecting checks. I knew that having a good business foundation was really important. So I ended up, kind of drawing out a real quick job description as to what I thought a professional fisherman was. And that is kind of what has been driving my decision-making on the business side from here on out, or from that point forward. And that job description was very simple. It was to get people excited about fishing and the outdoors, and to teach them how to do these activities better in fishing and the outdoors. And what I mean by that is that this whole job, being a professional fisherman, is all about sharing knowledge and getting people excited about the sport. And obviously, working with sponsor, their main concern is selling product. But for you to be able to do your job, you need to be able to get people excited about fishing and stay positive, and just make people want to go get out on the water, or just walk down to the local pond and go fishing. And then after that, you teach them how to do things better in the outdoors. So you teach them the techniques to catch more fish, teach them about the tackle, and by doing that, then you're actually moving product and creating value for your sponsors. So that's kind of the role that condensed down. That is the role of a professional angler, is to get people excited about the sport and teach them how to do it better. And if you can do those two things, and you have to do both of them. If you can do those two things, you will do well in the sport, and you can make a living. So that's the first thing I wanted to mention. The next thing that I wanted to talk about, and this is kind of really what I wanted to discuss on this video, was the first steps in how to get sponsored. And really, I think it's important to mention that for you young anglers out there, if you're in high school or college, you've gone through the college fishing programs, you've already got a lot of sponsors for those programs. But after you get out of those programs, number one, support those companies that supported you all through high school and college. That's really important. But don't get in a hurry to get sponsors right off the bat, okay? And the reason for that is, in my experience, it's very difficult to scale those partnerships from a discount level to a paying level if you start at that discount level right off the bat. So don't get in a hurry right off the bat, looking for sponsors. The search for sponsorship really should be held off until you have established yourself as far as bringing value to the table through your social media channels, through your overall reach, whether that's on television, social media, in person, events, that sort of thing. Make sure that you build your value first and then start looking for sponsorship. But that doesn't mean that you don't think about the business side right now. It's very important to kind of hold off on like the actual act of getting sponsors and put that on the back burner. But in the meantime, networking is the most important important part of the sponsor process, and it's something that you can start at any time. Okay. I started going to the Classic and ICAST years ago. I think my first Classic was 2006 down in Orlando in the Orange County Convention Center, which just happens to be where ICAST is every year now. And then my first ICAST was I think was like 08, 09, whenever they first started coming to Orlando. And I recognized early on that relationships are really how great sponsor portfolios are built in this sport. And so meeting people and just building relationships with people within the industry is really important. And so going to these shows, I actually didn't realize that off the bat. I'll be honest, when I was first going to the Classic and ICAST, I was looking for sponsors. I was looking to seal the deal on sponsorship right then and there, like most other people. But what I realized over the years going there is that building these friendships and building these relationships is the most important part of this whole, this whole game, this whole puzzle, the business side of this sport. Because people in this industry, like any industry, want to do business with people they know, they trust, they know that they can depend on, and they know what they're all about, okay? And you can't get that from just handing somebody a resume. They're not going to be able to paint the whole picture and understand who you are and your level of dedication. They actually need to know you, to get to know you. So going to these events is the best way to get to know people. And early on, you shouldn't be going there with the intention to just get sponsored, because people can sniff that out right off the bat. Your intention should be to just meet people in the industry and get to know, whether it's people at certain companies or just people in the media, or tackle retail, mom and pop stores that are at ICAST to go, buy and make orders. There's a lot of people that you can meet that are just awesome people in this sport. That's one of the best things about the fishing industry, is that we've just got a great group of people that work in it. And so my suggestion is to go to these events, go to the Bassmaster Classic, go to the ICAST, and go and just make friends with people. I mean, it sounds really simplistic, but I'm telling you, the best deals that I have and that you will get come from relationships first. So you have to be building your value, building your social media channels, and continue with that. And at the same time, just meet as many people as you can, build friendships, never burn bridges, treat everybody good, like the way you want to be treated. And don't expect anything from anybody. There's so many people in this industry that there'll never be a dollar transaction made between us, other than maybe, both of us buying each other a drink or something when we see each other at ICAST or the Classic. So there's nothing wrong with the fact that you're making friends with people that they're not going to help you in your sponsor goals. But a lot of people will. Like, what happens is that when you're staying in front of people and you're getting to know people, and you're being consistent with your appearances at these shows, and with your communications with these people, when an opportunity arises that fits you specifically, they're going to think of you. So they're going to say, hey, that Miles guy, we've known him for years. He really didn't have any value in the beginning, but now his social media is, getting bigger. He just started hosting that show Sweetwater. Let's see if he'd be right for this. I bet he would. So then you get the call. I swear that is how things work, is that as long as you're putting the effort into building the value, and you just make as many friendships in the industry as you can, opportunities come your way. People want to offer these opportunities to people that they know. And so I'm not saying to just focus on networking. Again, you have to be focusing on building your platform, your personal brand, and all that. But at the same time, you should be going to these shows and just meeting people and building good relationships. And then after the fact, once you get an opportunity, you have to deliver on it, because this is a very, very small industry. It seems really big. You walk into ICAST and you're like, whoa, this is crazy. This is a huge, huge industry, a huge sport. But in reality, it's very, very small, because the one guy that works over at this company as the marketing director, if you burn a bridge with him, he's likely going to be working with another company, who knows how long. So if you burn one bridge in the sport, even if that person doesn't move to another company, they know other people and they talk. So word of mouth can work against you in that case. So the biggest key is just deliver on what you promise, and just work really hard. And if you do those things, sponsors come and go over the years. You just can't get away from losing sponsors or having to change sponsors or something like that, because businesses change. There's nothing in that company's handbook that says that they have to sponsor you for your life and the length of their business. So it's just going to happen. But the biggest key is just do not burn any bridges, because it's not only going to hurt you in the long term, it's going to hurt everybody. So anyways, guys, just to condense this down, make sure that you know what the job is. It's all about getting people excited about fishing and teaching them how to do it better. And then right now, you shouldn't be focusing on getting sponsorship. You should be focusing on building the foundation for your sponsorship search and portfolio in the future. So go out there, meet people, make friends, and never burn bridges. Those are the biggest pieces of advice that I could possibly give a young angler. I'm still learning from mistakes of the past, and I'm still trying to get better and better at this game. But the number one thing is just, the effort. If you're putting effort into it and you're constantly thinking about it, and this is what you want to do for a living, man, you can make a living in this sport, and it's a beautiful thing to make a living in doing something that you love to do. But anyways, guys, hopefully this video helps you. Hopefully it wasn't just some big rambling mess of information, but I really do enjoy sharing this type of information. So if you have any questions or comments, hit the comment section below, but also make sure that you like, share, subscribe. And if you have anybody that you know that is trying to break into the sport and become a professional in the sport of fishing, make sure you share this video with them. I'd really like to reach as many people as possible that are interested in the sport. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you out on the water.